Before Guillaume could join with his liege's army, he needed to gather his own men and organize them into fighting order. To do this, he first needed to get a lay of the land. A collection of large rocks caught Guillaume's eye. Wary of hidden threats, he decided to investigate. Guillaume discovered a recently abandoned camp. A closer look would determine which direction the men went. Happy knowing that his men were nearby, Guillaume refocused his attention. Guillaume set off in search of his men, scouting the surroundings as he moved.
Obeir est virtuts. Urchebauchun.
With each gallop of his horse's hooves, more of Guillaume's land was revealed to him.
Tweet qui eren ne sunt perdus. Unur cesse de guerrier. A meilleur grands glorie.
Guillaume had found his spearmen. However, they would need to be organized and prepared for battle, after which he could continue searching for the rest of his forces. With his spearmen found, Guillaume was one step closer to reclaiming his dukedom. First, he would need to organize them under his command. Only then could he continue his search for the rest of his forces. He gathered his spearmen and coordinated them into proper rank and file.
Entière sparate. Bene.
Guillaume knew that his men would need to follow his every command in the coming battle, and so he assigned them as a group under his control. Guillaume's spearmen were now a respectable fighting unit. It was time to march on in search of more reinforcements.
Bene.
Guillaume's cousin and treacherous rebel Guy de Bourgogne had erected a wooden palisade along the path in an attempt to halt Guillaume's progress. However, this was no problem for his spearmen, who destroyed it with ease.
On demand? Si! Dos, tres, Lancaise! Lancaise, assaut!
An enemy patrol had been scouting the area. Guillaume knew that his spearmen were the perfect counter and saw this as an opportunity to test their mettle.
Lancaise! Si, caisse! Cito! Lancaise, si! Morens, vassas! L'ennemi!
With his spearmen now proven in battle, Guillaume and his men moved on. A group of enemy archers blocked Guillaume's path. He knew their long range would give them a distinct advantage over his spearmen. As luck would have it, a regiment of his loyal horsemen had been spotted close by.
Cavallarios parat! A calque, cavallarios!
Guillaume once again proved he was a shrewd tactician. He knew his horsemen had the speed to run down and defeat the much slower archers. With his horsemen now battle-hardened, Guillaume focused on locating his own regiment of archers. Guillaume found his archers hidden within a quiet village. They reported that a group of enemy spearmen were on their way to secure the area. Guillaume noticed the hill nearby and knew it would be a perfect spot for an ambush.
Parate, Arco parate. Vade, arquière.
Guillaume's plan once again proved true. His archers shot down the enemy spearmen from their strategic position. With his forces now gathered under his command, Guillaume prepared to rendezvous with his ally, King Henri I of France.
Leggere chose est vert ce que dei.
Now bolstered by his liege's forces, Guillaume marched to battle.
Attention.
Si, vale.
Uth la Dieu merci.
The time had finally come. Guy and his rebel army stood in open defiance against the combined forces of Guillaume and King Henri. Guillaume had mastered numerous skills, and now it was time to put those skills to the test. Henri had granted Guillaume the right to initiate the attack, and on his order, the fight for his dukedom would begin.
Prête suis pour Normandie. Pour André.
It was during this battle that Guillaume first demonstrated his prowess as a warrior of Viking descent. He single-handedly turned the tide of battle and inspired his men to victory.
Ça fait pas rater, arquère. Belanquiers.
With his forces depleted, Guy de Brion was utterly defeated and fled. It was said that the dead were so numerous they floated downstream and clogged the local water wheel. It was this victory at Valestoon where Guillaume first displayed his militaristic genius and demonstrated his fighting prowess. It was here that he established himself as the undisputed Duke of Normandy. (1065), and Guillaume is marching west to deal with the last threat to his duchy, the Duke of Brittany Conan II. Chateau de Dino was a formidable fortress and would need an impressive army to siege its walls and bring down the keep. Guillaume entrusted the raising of such an army to his wife, Matilda de Flandre, Duchess of Normandy. First, Matilda would need to gather resources, a job for her loyal villagers. Resources were essential in constructing buildings and producing units, and could be found all across the land. But Matilda knew the most important resource to begin gathering was food.
Coligo.
Escoltier. Vado.
Food was key in recruiting villagers and military units. More villagers would be required if she was to raise a large army. To do this, she turned to her town centre, an important landmark where new villagers could be recruited.
Si.
Villagers could also construct a variety of military and economic buildings. Some of these buildings were used to make resource gathering more efficient, such as the mill.
Okay.
Matilda ordered construction of the mill close to the berry bushes as an alternative drop-off point for her villagers. Next was wood, a key resource in the construction of many buildings and essential to the success of any town. Matilda constructed a lumber camp close to a forest, a good source of wood.
Lavoro. Intus. Ubi vado? Edifico.
With a healthy supply of food, the village could start to grow. To do so, it would need more hands to share the work.
Ascolto.
What?
The town could no longer grow without additional homes. Matilda ordered her villagers to construct new houses to accommodate the growing population.
Spero. Massone. Lavoro. Me. What? Finito.
Further growth required knowing the countryside and finding more resources. For that, communities employed scouts.
Mandes? Kerte. Cavallo. Occido.
Able to move quickly and see great distances, scouts were key to discovering new resources.
Escolto. Vado.
Che? Capio.
It was time for Matilda to begin gathering the resource that ruled the known world: gold. Fortunately, a gold vein could be found nearby, and Matilda set her villagers to work mining it. With her food supply running low, Matilda constructed farms to replace the depleted berry bushes. They would provide a constant supply of food. Like all great leaders, Matilda made expert use of local government. They aided her in organizing the villagers and assigned them roles within the settlement. Matilda's small town was now thriving and ready to progress to the next age of prosperity. To mark the occasion and celebrate her villagers, Matilda ordered the construction of a landmark.
Ubi vado?
Landmarks allowed a settlement to grow, granting access to more complex buildings and veteran units.
Me edifico.
Ascolto. Ma sono.
Felice et beat.
The town had grown from just a handful of villagers to a fully established settlement. Matilda had erected a landmark, announcing to the land that this town was a blossoming settlement. It was the perfect platform from which to forge an army and launch a siege on Conan's castle. It was time to build an army. Matilda had everything she needed to amass a force, capable of bringing down the walls of Dino. Matilda was aware of Conan's powerful horsemen. She knew spearmen would prove to be a useful counter. They would make up the core of her army.
Mandesquid. Vado laburar. Parat porvenir. 6 hommes. Io ma sono felice et beat. Buon labor. Una sial por la bateria.
6 hommes.
Parats por laborar. Cose sera ma sonata. Quet me. Cose sera ma sonata.
Quel labor. Cos'è sarà massonata?
Qued labor? Vado laburar. Benefect.
Tourma. Vale. Nanke barat. Prompte. Tourma. Prompte. Vale. Nanke barat. Tourma. Prompte.
Matilda then turned her attention to producing her own horsemen, a particular strength of the Normans.
Labour Spérance. Io ma sono la cose. Labour Spérance. Parat porvenir. Cose sera ma sonata. Qued labour. Vado laburar. Felice et beat. Vale ex capo.
Presentez l'encaisse.
Quid ordines? Quid mandas? Quid ordines?
With the horsemen saddled and ready for war, Matilda was confident they would be able to deal with any archer threat that may appear. Archers would be a useful tool to have in her own army, so Matilda began the production of skilled bowmen.
Six hommes. Io ma sono la cose.
Mandesqued, vado laburar. Labur speranz. Io ma sono la cose. Surmon mans. Parat porvenir. Cose sera massonata.
Mandesqued? Cose sarà massonata? Buon lavoro. Secco materia.
Scara formata! Fais fort! Cavalario parade! Attention! Ascolto sol! Cavalario sparat! Prende! Successo!
Quemandes. Sagita in arco. Arquière parat. Arco parat. Sagita in arco. Arco parat. Quemandes. Arquière parat. Sagita in arco. Quemandes.
Guillaume was accompanied by an unusual ally, the powerful Anglo-Saxon Earl, Harold Godwinson. They were met with a sprawling town and a mighty army. Matilda had done her job as Duchess flawlessly, something Guillaume was very much used to. She would remain behind and efficiently run the settlement, while Guillaume marched against Conal. Guillaume knew this would not be an easy siege, but was confident in his forces and his own abilities as a leader. Guillaume and Harold set off to the castle of Dino.
sunt dégasté!
This was the Chateau de Dino, Conan's stronghold in Brittany. With its capture, Brittany would never be in a position to threaten Normandy again. To capture it, Guillaume needed to seize Conan, who had barricaded himself inside the keep atop the hill. He sounded the charge and laid siege to the keep.
Maudite servientes!
Brittany was no longer a threat. Mathilde's administrative expertise had once again proved essential to Guillaume's strength. Harold was rewarded with arms, men, and even a knighthood. According to Norman historians, it was here that Harold swore on holy relics to support Guillaume in his claim to the English throne. An oath sworn was a form of contract, recognized by law and church. Breaking one sworn upon a holy relic would be like breaking a contract with God, and thus have dire consequences. For now, it appeared that Guillaume had formed a strong alliance. However, it would not take long for it to lay in tatters. Guillaume and Harold would come to clash at one of the most infamous battles in history,